Hi, I'm Petehdgs. I just wanted to show you how I plan VFR flights for a week ahead. In 2013, I wrote an article for Airfax Journal about 7-day cross-country weather planning. My primary long-range tool for this is the graphical forecast from NOAA. It gives you weather by region and by state, and you can select various forms of individual data to populate the map with. Today is Sunday afternoon, and this particular screen is showing me weather for next Saturday, probability of precipitation during the day. I use this aviation graphical forecast also, but the problem is it only goes for 18 hours. I start by finding my flight plan in SkyVector. Once I have my route of flight picked, I also plot the same course on the graphical aviation forecast. Based on that, I pick the view I want from the NOAA available regions and or states. I scroll the POP 12s for all the various different days coming up to determine which days will be good VFR weather on my flight. I start with the POP 12s. And I refine with the weather windows. The later day windows are 8 hours apart, but the earlier windows are 3 hours apart, 6 hours and 3 hours. So let's say I was thinking about Thursday. So here's the POP 12 for Thursday. Expected weather at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. This is showing chance of showers throughout most of my route from here to here. And chance of showers is something you can usually fly in, but you can further refine that. You can further refine this by comparing temperature and dew point at the same time along your route. So my route of flight is roughly along this line. If you look at the temperature at Detroit and Cleveland and Pittsburgh and I guess I'm not sure where that is in Western Maryland. That gives you temperature versus dew point. If it's more than 15, it's probably going to be good VFR with high clouds at least 5,000 feet. You can see from my calculations there that the delta between temperature and dew point is 18, 20, 21, and 20. Those are all good VFR days. If it's over 16, it's going to be good VFR. If it's between 10 and 15, it's going to be somewhat marginal. You might still be able to go, but you might not. If it's less than 10, you're probably not going to do any cross-country flying. And if it's less than 6, you're not going to be doing any flying at all. When you're 2 or 3 days out, you can look at the weather and see it every 3 hours. So here's the POP 12 on Tuesday, which is 3 days from now. Or 2 days from now, and then you got weather 8 a.m., 11, 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8 p.m. And then you can define the temperature and dew point along those areas to give you a real good idea. The evening before the flight, it's time to go to the graphical forecast for aviation. So here's graphical forecast for aviation. Ceiling at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Visibility, clouds, precipitation. Notice the yellow for meaning of fog. So a lot of fog usually in the mornings in the summertime. There's wind at 9,000 feet. And then you can change that down to surface or whatever cruising that you're looking for, and it'll just repopulate when you get ready. Now this is the same map, same information, but for 10 a.m. tomorrow. And there's the ceiling and the visibility and the clouds, precipitation, and winds. I wanted to go back to the NOAA graphical forecast to show you that they do have wind and wind gust. They have wind direction and speed, and then they have wind gust. So they don't really give you the direction on the wind gust. But if you have 2 days that are more or less similar, but one of them has stronger winds, if it's gusty, you know it's going to be really bumpy. So you can even out to 3 days, you can still pick better days based on wind if you wanted to. Interesting thing when you're looking at SkyVector, it puts the wind in for the time that you're expected in flight. And a way to get back to no wind for flight planning purposes is to put 9900 as the local time. If you put 9900 in there, it assumes that you're not actually looking at actual weather. You just want to look at the flight as if there was no weather. So it can give you the difference in your times and your fuel burn. Okay, so I just wanted to show you one more weather tool that I'm aware of. It's windy.com. I can thank John Weisswasser for telling me about that. He makes excellent videos about looking at weather and planning and using an airplane in general aviation. He is way higher than I am, and he does fantastic videos. But me, I'm just a bare bones type guy. So if you look at John's videos, you get great stuff. And you look at mine, you get my ugly mug and bare bones. That's the way it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and talk to you soon. Have fun, fly safe.